let's just get started. It's fine.
All right.
It's fine.
Okay. All right. I'll start it up.
All right.
Hello, everybody. I am Alex, otherwise known as Planet Maker. I'm the CEO and sort of lead dev on the front end side of things for Space Tokens and Wandering Worlds. I'm excited to be here at this AMA. Like, we really want to start communicating directly with our community a little better. We've been kind of heads down in development mode for so long, but we're like coming out of the woodwork now in terms of getting our architecture in a good place. So yeah, no, excited to be here and answer any questions any of you have. Pass it over to you, Stacy.
Awesome. Hey guys, it's Planet Queen, Stacy. I am kind of the product lead, scrum master, business analyst, herder of cats, and kind of community type person for the project. I wear many, many hats on this project. You'll probably see me all over the place doing all kinds of things. And yeah, like Alex said, I'm just super excited to start communicating more frequently and more directly with the community and really like turning up the engagement dial this summer. So stoked to be here. Jester, you want to say hey?
Yeah, so I'm Ramon. I'm the new guy here, and basically I live for you guys, and I'm just here to hype up the events. I'm more in marketing and eco-movement, so expect some fun events. I'm expecting to post some meetings and have some fun on this year.
Nice.
Beauty.
Cool. Okay, I'll jump right into it. I'll just sort of give an overview of where we're at and what we've been up to the last little while. And then maybe Stacy, you could talk about the season 3 plans a little bit.
Sure.
So yeah, what has Space Tokens been up to? We've been busy building out a scalable infrastructure mainly. So we've been focusing on the front end mostly, getting it into a place where we can deploy it onto lots of different platforms. Like currently we're obviously only on web, but we're going to be launching desktop builds in the near future, and just getting the game into a format that's easily downloadable. So you get quick downloads and you can play the game quickly. So that's one of the major things we've been working on. Also, a lot of back-end infrastructure. We're currently in the process of getting the wallet optimizations done, which probably a lot of you can appreciate. We've had some UTXO balancing issues with the wallet, and who knew building a Cardano wallet from scratch would be so difficult? But yeah, we're nearly there, and I think we built something pretty unique, especially considering it runs in Unity 3D, which is a gaming platform. I think it's one of a kind. I think we're sort of a leader on the C# wallet side of things now. So that'll be coming out probably at the end of the month. We have a lot of plans for the end of the month. One of the big things that's coming, obviously, is the Vassal hard fork. So that's something we're getting ready for. IOHK still hasn't released the latest version of the Cardano node to testnet, so we're just sort of like sitting and waiting for that. But yeah, seriously, they're cutting it close. So that's supposed to drop June 29th on mainnet, and they haven't got it to testnet yet. So the last week of June, we're definitely going to be focusing on getting all our stack upgraded to that, because I mean, it's supposed to be huge efficiency increases with that version of the node. So yeah, it'll be great to get there. But yeah, wallet optimizations, Vassal hard fork, and then front end re-architecture are kind of like our main focuses, will have been for June. And then we've also been working on claims. So claims will be coming out in July. And that obviously is an exciting feature because you'll be able to claim your QUID from all the lands that you've been accruing QUID on. So we're really stoked to get that piece of tech in there, because that's kind of the last piece of the play to earn puzzle. obviously we'll be working on like daily missions and stuff that return QUID. But yeah, Flames will be the first real sort of first loop completed. But yeah, I won't get too much into the season 3, but that's kind of where we're at and what we're working on. Stacy, do you want to sort of talk about the exciting endless summer plans?
Oh my gosh, do I ever? Okay, I see.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna try really hard not to get too excited and ramble really fast and long, because I do that. So you may have noticed we've got some events going on in Discord, and we're going to be continuing that through the summer. Like I said in the blog last week, like for me, summer is really about like hanging out with your friends, like making memories, doing fun stuff together, and like I just really want to bring the spirit of that like fun joyfulness into our project even more than it normally is, just to kind of celebrate my favorite time of year. So season 3 kicks off July 1st, and we have so many really awesome things coming. The QUIDX is reopening. We're thinking it's probably 10 million QUID at this point going out. I don't think I've said this out loud yet, I don't think, but we're doing a little refresh on Yield website. And it's going to be super awesome. I'm so stoked about that. It looks amazing. Maybe it was in the blog last week. I don't know. I tell a lot of people a lot of things. I talk it a lot. Who knows if I said it or not. If it's new to you, that's exciting. We will be having kind of some more frequent kind of social events on Discord. We're going to be doing Sneaky Sundays, giving you guys some sneak peeks on weekly rather than kind of just whenever we remember. So Sundays, make sure you're in Discord to check out the weekly sneak peek. Ooh, Wandering Wednesday. Oh, this is going to be so great. So we are going to be doing some really fun games in the game and out of the game on Wandering Wednesday. They'll all be themed around the game, and that game will be starting next week with maybe we'll do a practice one tomorrow. We'll see how it goes, but I have some ideas. So we'll be doing Wandering Wednesdays. It'll be kind of like scavenger hunt type things. It'll be one of the first people or be one of the people for the day to go and find a thing, do a thing, and then report back in Discord. And we'll be doing draws for winners every Wednesday, so that'll be super exciting. We're going to be doing some expedition raffles in July. So that'll be super great. Like Alex said, Claims is coming out in July. We got missions on the docket. So some kind of daily things. Once we get Claims under our belt, then we can actually like award you guys stuff. So missions actually make sense. And then August is our anniversary month. Space Tokens has actually been around for almost a year already, which is like an eternity in NFT time. So yep. We're like, I think we're pretty much like OG at this point. So that'll be super great. There's going to be lots of exciting things happening in August. We are launching a new section on our website that is going to be like so super cool, and you can earn daily QUID there. We're going to have our first community mission in the game, which is going to be amazing. So the idea being that everyone needs to kind of work together to complete this mission to get a thing for everyone. So that'll be really cool. I'll tell you more about that later. I know I'm being like...
You're being very coy.
I know. I don't want to tell them everything in the first 5 minutes. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I can do that. We've got drops coming this summer. Super exciting. Do we tell them what it is, Alex?
Yeah, go for it.
It's gonna be buildings. So we've got 5 different kinds of buildings coming out this summer that you guys will be able to get. You'll be able to place these on your land, and not initially placing, but you'll be able to get them, and then we'll have the scenes on the land, and you'll be able to put the things, and it's gonna be super awesome.
I think we should premise it with build mode first.
Yeah, well,
So.
yeah. So, like I said, it's not actually placing them on the land yet. Build mode is obviously on the roadmap, and actually we were playing around with the prototype today, and it looks super cool.
Yeah, just real quick on that. So build mode is the feature that will let you actually land on your land and walk around and place buildings on your land, kind of like well, this is an analogy, but if you've ever played Animal Crossing in space is one way to look at it. So what we're working on is like the randomization engine for terrain, because every single land will be unique in its terrain and what's placed on it. So it's a big task, but we are going to be launching these buildings which add functionality, utility, and extra earnings to your land. So that's the major release that'll be coming out in Q3. But we will be previewing build mode and the prototype sooner than later. So yeah, lots to be excited about that.
Super exciting. So yeah, we'll have lots of different kinds of buildings that you can get. Our anniversary, we're going to be doing some super exciting things there. That other little secret sneaky area that I'm telling you but not telling you about.
Yeah.
And of course, our meme contest will run through the summer. There was some chat today about maybe we could pick a themed meme for the week, and everyone could meme that meme. You know what I'm saying? Could be the Batman one. Maybe it's a different one. I really like the Drake one. We'll see. But I am loving the entries so far, and that is, I don't know, it's just super cool. I always love seeing what you guys come up with. It always is amazing.
Yeah, it makes it really fun for us.
It totally
so thank
does.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally fun to see what you guys have come up with, and then sometimes that sparks something in one of us, and we're like, oh, what if it was like this, but then like this, and we do this whole little iterative thing, and then bam, something awesome happens. So
yeah,
definitely keep the awesome coming our way. It makes it a better place for everybody, makes the project better, makes the game better, makes us better. So yeah.
Totally. So before we jump into the questions, I mean, let's open up the floor. If anybody has any questions right now, or just want to chat, let us know. You can put up your hand here. If not, we can jump into the questions, but I'll give it 10 seconds if anybody is interested in asking anything or chatting.
Cage Mall, your laptop's mic sucks, but if you want to pop into the AMA questions channel or in general, we can keep an eye out for anything you've got to ask or anything. RIP Mike.
Yeah, you can post any questions in the AMA if you're more comfortable doing that, the AMA questions channel.
Beautiful.
Cool. Okay.
Should we take it off the top?
So yeah, do you want to jump into questions here?
Let's do it. Take it away, Alex.
Okay. So let me find where we need to start. Do you know what date we should start at?
I think Mean Littles is maybe one of the older ones. It was back from May, or actually in May.
Yeah, okay. We can start in May.
Yeah.
Okay, I see a May 6th here. Okay, so claim all. Yeah, why don't we start there? So yes, claims will have a claim all function. We've got the UI down. We've got the architecture for claims to handle this. And so you will basically go to a screen that shows you all your assets and all the accrued rewards on those assets. And you'll be able to pick and choose which like planets or land you want to claim against. And you can select one, you can select 5, you can select all. And then we batch together all those rewards into one transaction and send it.
Uh-oh, did we lose you?
Gonna make that. No, can you hear me still?
Oh, there we go. Yep, you're back.
Yeah, sorry, my alarm just went off there. So yeah, we're gonna make claims really easy, and you can claim all just through one interface. So that's coming out hopefully July. I think that's the plan, right? That's where we have it slated. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Let's see here. So what is the timeline on being able to send from our Wandering Worlds wallet? So great question. That's going to be coming out with the wallet optimizations. And so Planet Core is currently sort of polishing up the final pieces of making that UTXO balancing work really well. And with that will come the send functionality. So we have the UI ready to go. We just need to hook it up to our new basically UTXO balancing service, and then we'll be good to go for that. Let's see here. At some point, so this is Beam Little. At some point before the game gets promoted by Cardano influencers, YouTube interviews, game needs to cover a key question they always make. They will ask, is the code open source? If no, then they'll ask for audit papers that are available. So yeah, this is a really good point. So we have to be careful around, especially the wallet code. So we do have a web security company who is going to audit our wallet service. We consider it pretty proprietary technology, so we won't be open sourcing that core piece, but we will have it audited by a web security specialist. And they'll put their rubber stamp on it just so we have that confidence. In terms of like the game code, it's pretty standard, like C# video game development code. So there's nothing really too open source, and I really would want to, again, for proprietary reasons. We don't want to give away sort of our lead, especially on the Unity 3D front. Like we're, as far as we're aware, we're the furthest ahead in terms of like a Cardano integrated Unity 3D game. So we don't want to give away our lead right away. It is something we'd consider in the future once the field is a little more normalized, but we just feel like if we want to succeed, we got to keep our cards pretty close to our chest at this point. But that's not saying we won't get the proper auditing done on any core technology. Hopefully that answers that question well enough. If you have any other questions around that, though, please let me know. I'm willing to chat more about that. Moving right along here. Another one from Mean Little. So for any kind of crafting, building minerals from a planet, so class 1 minerals, are they always needed? Class 2 minerals, class 3 minerals. So this is about like how will minerals be used in crafting? And so I don't know if we talked about blueprints, but blueprints are going to be a core mechanic in the game that basically it's a recipe. I don't know if any of you have played other games with crafting, but it's basically you need a recipe of core components to build something, and crafting will work very similar. In terms of tiers of items, there will be more complex tiers of like components and other items that will require like higher tier minerals. And so it does benefit you to have a bunch of different types of lands so you can run different mining operations. That's another thing we haven't talked too much about, but we'll be sort of discussing more about mining operations in the future. But mining operations you run them, and they take a certain amount of time, and they're guaranteed to return a certain range of different mineral types with rare chances for like more rare minerals. And so mining operations will definitely be a core component of sort of managing your lands and getting those minerals, because those all feed into crafting. So plan is we get mining operations and minerals going, and then we start releasing some small tier blueprints that you can start playing with and crafting some items. So more on that later. Let's see here. Okay, so creatures. Let me just finish reading this. How will they interact with other creatures? How will breeding play into discovery? Eventually, will there be resources we can get from our creatures? Yeah, maybe I want a woolly spacesuit for cold abyss of space. Yeah, that'd be great.
Definitely get a spacesuit.
Yeah. Creatures will definitely be a huge version launch for the game. In terms of like breeding and interacting with other creatures, so we do have all the creature types sort of mapped out. And to breed two creatures, they do have to be the same type. There's no like interspecies breeding, but they will produce. I don't know if I should talk about eggs, but I don't think we've ever announced that. But yeah, basically you'll be able to breed your creatures and get certain types of eggs that you have to take care of, and then they turn into new creatures based on the parents. Creatures will be found on lands during like creature discovery missions, and that's something we'll discuss more later. Like creatures is unfortunately still a ways off. We got a lot to get through, like especially minerals and crafting, but we will be dropping hints and especially missions around creatures where you can start learning about the mechanics that you'll be able to do. So yeah, again, if you have any more specific questions on creatures, please put them into this channel, and we'll do our best to drop as many hints as we can. I think these AMAs, we'll do these probably every second week. Yeah. I don't know, Stacey, have we
that's the plan.
Chatted about that?
That's the plan. Okay. Every second week through the summer. Lots of chances to chat.
Yeah. I think these Discords, we might do some Twitter spaces as well. Yeah. And I think if you want the most up-to-date information, these will be the best place, because I think we'll just probably be more open during these calls.
We'll probably just say stuff.
What's that?
I said we'll probably just say stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Without as much filter as there is in text.
Yeah, totally.
One other cool thing I want to throw in about creatures, just in the spirit of saying stuff. You may just happen upon eggs unrelated to specific creature missions. So definitely when you're out roaming around on the land, keep your eyes peeled.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be an interesting mechanic for sure.
Mm-hmm. The true definition of Easter eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay, did I miss one here? I don't think so. No. Bumping previous question. Can creatures live on planets with different type than they are from? Yes. I'm just going back a bit here. So, might as well chat about this. So one of the building types that you'll be able to build and put on your land is a biome. And so biomes will be very important for creatures, because if you want to keep a creature on a land, but it's from a planet type that the creatures can't technically survive on, you can install a biome that in these biome buildings that they could live in.
We lost you again, Alex.
Am I back?
You're back.
I gotta adjust this camera here. So yeah, the biome buildings, you'll be able to install different like ecosystems from the different planet types, and your creatures will be able to live in the biomes that they're from. So that's a pretty important characteristic of creatures. Yeah, so Yeah, okay. I think that answers that.
And don't worry, the biomes are large enough to sustain the creatures comfortably with lots of room to play and enjoy their natural habitat. So don't worry.
That's right. That's right. Totally.
They can leave at any time.
Yep.
I mean, not really. They won't run away, but we like to think that they have free will.
Yeah. It'll be comfortable.
Yes, don't worry.
Let's see here.
Hey, we got Prague.
More construction information. How will placing buildings work? Will they be upgradable? Build stuff in orbit around planets. I love that idea. We have talked about building stuff in orbit, and we want to add more utility to planets themselves. So that's definitely one thing we're worth considering. If you have any ideas on what you'd like to orbit your planets, let us know. But yeah, that's something we're working on.
We have a
and
guest.
Then yeah, sorry, go ahead.
We have a guest on stage.
We do?
We do. We got Prague up. What's up?
Oh, hey Prague.
Hey there. I didn't know this is how it worked, but I'm glad for the opportunity to talk.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
No, nice to speak with you. Totally. Do you have any questions? Yeah.
I had a question about one of the topics we just discussed. It was around the biomes piece. Now,
yep.
I was wondering if there's a limit on the number of biomes, because it sounds like you need to build, like a zoo, certain types of biomes on your land. Is there a limit to the number of biomes based on the planet or land you have?
Yeah, so buildings have sort of a size, and each land has a certain number of tiles. Think about it like a grid. And so biomes, there's different like sizes of them, and then you can fit as many as you want to put on your land as fits in the grid. So the current prototype we're running with is 16 by 16, and the size of buildings will be around like a 2 by 2 or a 2 by 3, depending on sort of the tier that you want to install. And biomes will be able to hold more than one creature. So we still have to do the work on balancing like how many creatures per biome, but yeah, like you'll be able to put as many biomes on a piece of land that fit within the grid size. And the grid size is important for us because it's like a technical consideration of how much data we can load on a land at any one time. And because part of the main feature we want is people to be able to walk around after you like finish build mode. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question just on how many biomes could be on a land.
Yeah, and so much more. And that last part makes me think the number of servers are probably going to be the limitation on how many people per biome or creatures, I guess.
Yeah, so it's part of this like infrastructure. Like we're running a Cardano infrastructure is not easy to begin with, so scalability is always on our minds. And so yeah, limiting the amount of like things that you need to load on a piece of land is a consideration for sure. Especially when we get to multiplayer, we are planning to have like you can invite your friends to one of your lands and you can all hang out and chat. So that with multiplayer comes scalability concerns, of course. So yeah, the 16 by 16 grid lets us like limit the amount of items that need to be loaded at any one time. In the future, though, we'll figure out ways to increase that size, but for now, that'll be sort of the land size. And I mean, you're going to have even if you have one planet and you discover all the lands, you got lots of space to work with. So you could like take one land and turn it into just like your game booth land, and another one is like your residential land where you store all your NFTs, that sort of thing. So yeah, we're excited to see sort of how you guys utilize your land in different ways. Because yeah, it's going to be a bit of a sandbox where you can place and build stuff how you want, but
especially with the customizable buildings and stuff too. So
yeah,
it's
for
super
sure,
fun and customizable and very plug and play. So that's cool.
Yeah, Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts, Prague?
Follow-up question.
There is one other topic I wanted to hit. Thanks for asking,
Yeah.
actually. It's PvP versus cooperative play and how you envision most people interacting with the game.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. So Space Tokens and specifically Wandering Worlds, the game is more of a casual experience. We will have competitive aspects to it, kind of like with the time trials and especially around epoch rewards. We're gonna have leaderboards and that sort of thing, but there's no direct like player versus player in the traditional sense. We are considering building in sort of a guild or a clan system that may have clans sort of compete against each other, but it won't be like flying around shooting each other with spaceships. It's not really the sort of the idea we're going for. But yeah.
I see that as more of like the house competition at Hogwarts, where like it's from doing awesome things and you compete to be awesome rather than to annihilate the other.
Yeah, totally. Very community driven. And then to the second part of your question, how will people sort of interact with the game? So yeah, building again, casual experience, building out your land assets, competing in different games. Like we haven't talked too much about the game booths, but there's going to be a lot of sort of those mini games and daily missions and that sort of thing that you'll be able to interact with. So not so much of a hardcore experience, more of a casual, like enjoyable daily play sort of style of the game.
Actually sounds great. And actually, around the mini games, one of the things I've been envisioning is where the mini games are consistent or pretty common between the different planets, but I guess the driver for people to explore different planets are the minerals and how many people have mined them before. Is that still something you guys see as a vision for the planets? Because I was just going off some of the images where I saw like tic-tac-toe and rock, paper, scissors and some of the other more common games, assuming they were prefabs, that basically controlled what kind of game was played.
Yeah, so those booths, I mean, those are just concepts. So it won't necessarily be really simple games like that. I think they'll be a little more involved. Well, yeah, they will be.
They will be.
Yeah. Sorry, maybe I missed the first part of the question.
No, I mean the prefab component of that, I probably misread into regarding the game.
I gotcha. Yeah, so in terms of the game booth building, like you'll be able to choose what game. Think about it like a slot. You'll be able to choose what game you want to be available there for other people to play. And one thing we're playing with, and I'll just put this out there, but we're not totally set on this, is mini games will be sort of their own NFT, possibly. And I kind of would like to get some feedback on that, because the idea being we could release like special limited edition mini games that you collect as an NFT and you could put on a piece of land, but after a certain time, you wouldn't be able to obtain the license for that mini game, if that makes sense. So it kind of adds some exclusivity to different games that we release over time. And we are planning to release a lot. Like, I mean, we're hoping to get to the point where we can allow like third party developers add mini games in that we can vet and sort of bring into the fold. So yeah, to your point of like adding incentives to go explore a bunch of other lands. Yeah, there'll be other ways than just collecting minerals from those planet types and creatures from those planet types. Hopefully in these like exclusive games as well as shops. So that's another thing we haven't chatted too much about, but shops you'll be able to put up items in your own shops that aren't available anywhere else. So it's another incentive to bring people to your land. So if you have a really rare, high mineral grade class 4 planet or land, people know that they can go to that land to get those minerals, maybe from the shop, or go on a secondary mining operation. So yeah, definitely it's a great consideration of like how to incentivize players to traverse like a lot of different lands, and hopefully all those ideas just mentioned will have give enough incentive for people to go exploring. It's really what we want people to do.
Yeah, that kind of blew my mind a little bit, thinking about both the economic incentive for the people who own the land to create shops that take advantage of the local materials, or I don't know if it extends to creatures as well, but I'm hoping it does. But also for the other players to go to those key lands, because it sounds like they're going to recognize where there's a high rarity versus how much has already been mined of that rarity.
Yeah. I mean, the mining aspect of this is something we're probably furthest along on, especially with the tokenomics. And yeah, we really want to make it so if you do have a really high grade land, like people will want to search that out, So yeah. Cool.
Do you want to?
No, thanks.
Do you want to tease land ratings?
Oh, you go for it.
So the other thing that might incent you to go to a particular land to go play games versus another is kind of the rating of the land, which will be a combination of like people who visit that land, QUID earned and generated there, how fun it is, like the kind of the sentiment,
aesthetics.
The aesthetics, the sentiment of the land. Like, how is it for people? So that'll be a combination metric that'll be displayed. So, putting things on your land that people want to interact with and, make it look nice and it's fun and engaging, all increase your land ranking, which kind of gives you more visibility too. So then if you do have those, high grade lands somewhere, maybe you don't necessarily have them open, maybe you're mining, maybe you're selling them in your own shop on that high ranking land. I don't know. There's lots of opportunities there though. So lots of cool things.
For sure.
Okay, I got to ask another question around that.
Are we just like blowing your mind right now?
Yeah, I know. I'd probably still be sleeping right now, but here I am. Either way, will there be voting when it comes to what you were describing? When we talk about aesthetics, that sounds like an opinion. So will there be a voting system?
Not necessarily. So the aesthetics, we just bring up so a building type, the running name just internally is like beautifier. So it's more like cosmetic little items that you can place on the land of different sizes. And so the rarity and the quality of those, along with all the other types of buildings that you put on the land, like if you have a really densely populated land, that's just part of the calculation. So it won't be voting. It is an interesting idea though. Frankly, I haven't really thought about that, like voting on like top tier planets or lands. So that's a neat idea, but it's more going to be like a calculation based on a whole bunch of factors, like those rarity grades, and then how you actually set up your land. So that was the idea.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for your questions, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's super cool. All right.
Cool.
You want to chat?
Let's
backs?
see here. What's that?
You want to chat back? Baby Alien Club.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, so Baby Alien Club. I think we released an image of the 3D model the first ship that will be available in the game. So for anybody who is not aware, we partnered up with Baby Alien Club, which is another Cardano NFT project, and we're going to be bringing in their policy IDs into the Space Tokens and Wandering Worlds Galaxy. And so if you have Baby Alien in your wallet, we'll be able to detect that, and you will have access to fly the spaceship. And I should say, so Baby Aliens have the ship NFT. So if you have a ship NFT or a fused ship, then you'll have access to fly the ship in place of the Lancer. So that's one of the main features of that partnership. And it's cool just to be able to sort of cross over communities. I think their brand is kind of in line with the Space Token style, so it was kind of a natural partnership there. Yeah, anything else to add on that, Stacey?
We do have some other ideas to expand that partnership in the future, potentially that we're discussing as well. But yeah, there will be a place for the Baby Alien Club policy IDs in the Wandering Worlds Galaxy, which is super exciting.
Yeah, totally.
And Justin's like an OG Space Tokens guy. He was one of our.
I know.
He was so early. Like, when did he show up? I want to say like October last year, September, October. Like, he's been around a long time.
Yeah, in the good old days.
Yeah. Oh.
Jeez. Different world we live in now.
Oh man.
That's for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, so I think that covers it. Yeah, and just to cover that point of their 2D-ness in the 3D world. So we've built we have a team of 3D modelers, so we've built like 3D versions of their ships. So if you have one of their ship NFTs in your wallet, it'll basically show up as 3D in the game, if that makes sense. It's that NFT just gives you access to the 3D ship. So yeah.
We are working on trying to make those as like transferable as possible, but the 3D modeling every single variation is obviously a ginormous undertaking, and you could build a whole game around
it'll
that.
Be
so
it'll be a subset of the ship types. So I think there'll end up being 5 different ship types that you'll be able to fly from that. So yeah, I think that covers it. Prague also has another question here. I want to know if we'll be able to build from scratch along with using prefab structures. So yeah, you will. So to a point, like when we release like land and build mode, you're going to be able to check out all your lands, and they're going to be like basically just wild. Like there's going to be like trees and rocks and all sorts of stuff, and obviously no buildings. And then you'll get to go in and sort of build on those lands, right? So in terms of from scratch, yeah, once the feature's released, you'll have like, especially if you have lots of land, like you'll have lots of land to go mess around with. So yeah, hopefully there's sort of an endless amount of entertainment there.
The distinction I'm just going to call out on that is like this building drop that's happening in the summer. This is like the Galactic Federation's building accelerator program, putting out some buildings that you can customize and plunk down in advance of the full-on mining, crafting, blueprints release. So the drop that happens this summer will be limited run to kind of zhuzh up the land in the meantime before mining, crafting, and all that sort of stuff comes out later on.
Yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, like buildings are meant to be crafted. But yeah, we want to be able. Sorry, go ahead.
From the bits, like from scratch, essentially.
Yes.
That's
from
the big
components.
Picture plan. Yes.
Yeah. So the natural build tree is minerals get used to craft components, and then you use components to build more complex items. So that's the idea. yeah, so I think that covers build from scratch.
Yeah.
Move on to this
I,
next. Yeah.
Before you get to the next question, I wanted to ask a question related to the last point before prefab / custom buildings. So for Baby Alien Clubs, I actually have it, unfortunately, in a couple wallets. Will we have the support to use multiple wallet addresses? Or like if we had one eternal wallet with a bunch of addresses, could we use something like that in the game?
Yeah, so how the wallet optimization is working is we're a one address, and Planet Core, please come in here and let me know if I'm talking out of turn. He's sort of the master of the wallet, but we're a one address wallet, and we have a sophisticated UTXO management system. So all the UTXOs that live under an address are what we manage. And so if you say were to restore a wallet from elsewhere into Space Tokens, the first transaction that you send, our UTXO balancing system is going to rebalance your wallet into our game wallet format. And so that's really important because like building a game requires a certain structure, especially around like sending and receiving a lot of items. A typical Cardano wallet structure isn't actually very efficient. And that's the problem that we ran into, and why we had to, you kind of have to rebalance your wallet every once in a while, because the normal structure doesn't work very well for what we're trying to do. And that's why we had to come up with our own architecture for the wallet. So yeah, like you will be able to use other wallets, but it's going to rebalance you into a structure that works with it in a sort of a more game structure. So hopefully that explains it. But yeah, you'll be able to bring in lots of different NFTs. One additional point there though is in Wandering Worlds, you won't see NFTs that aren't registered in our system. So it's they'll be in your wallet. It's just we won't they won't be visible in the game, and that's because like it wouldn't fit sort of the brand and style, right? Like we have a very specific narrative, and I think it would just break the sort of character of the game if we allowed all NFTs to show up in game. Maybe we'll figure something out down the road that would allow for something like that, but yeah, it'll be very specific to Space Tokens assets and partnership assets. So yeah.
So Planet Core
I get that. I mean, I kind of envision it would be nice if we could bring in our own NFTs, or maybe even Ethereum-based NFTs in a crazier world where we could bring it into our, I guess our, I'm trying to remember the name of the area, bunker or not bunker, or cabin, our bunk bed area.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, it's not something we're looking at currently, but there are. I mean, the Milk Media Bridge network allows you to do some pretty funky things. So maybe down the road we could look at doing something crazy like that.
Sweet.
Cool. Cool. Let me move on to the next one here.
I think we might have dropped part of KHMA's question about the construction info. Upgradable, we didn't touch on.
Oh, upgradable. Yeah. So upgradable buildings is something we considered. We won't be launching that right away. There's a lot that we have to design still, especially around experience and leveling. So once we get closer to crafting, we'll talk more about like upgrades, but that's definitely something on the radar. Just for now though, buildings will have different tiers and different sizes based on those tiers. So that's more what the approach we're taking, at least at this point. So yeah. Did I miss any other points to that?
Placing buildings, we talked about the grid system. We didn't really on the head say about usable space, but we danced around it, like the terrain.
Yeah. So terrain will have there is height variation in the terrain, and different planet types have different height variations. So obviously you can't put a building on a cliff, but you'll be able to put buildings in certain areas. And we'll definitely, in our randomization engine, will guarantee a certain amount of space will always be available. But yeah, some lands will be more flat than others, basically. But yeah, I think once we have the prototype a little further along, we'll be a little more comfortable just showing how it's looking. Because just today I created sort of a sneak peek for Stacy to take a look at that goes sort of shows it in a way that makes sense. So yeah, just keep an eye out for the terrain generation stuff in the next month or so. We'll do some previews.
It's gonna be check out your sneaky Saturdays or sneaky
Yes.
Sundays. JK, sneaky Sundays.
Sundays.
Sunday.
Yeah, Saturdays, Sundays.
Sunday.
Okay. Too much alliteration.
Sunday fun day with Sneaky Sunday.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome.
Okay, let's move on to KHMA here. Will QUID be used for anything else besides planet land exploration and as a currency for in-game marketplace? Trying to figure out where buying pressure for the token will come from. Yeah, I'll start with that. So yeah, I mean, we have a lot of plans for QUID. In terms of what you use it for, it's going to be the operational token. So for like launching mining operations, obviously we can't just have minerals get spit out. So you'll have to fund those mining operations with QUID. That's just one example. There are other mechanics that we're working on to do with buildings. And one major thing that we haven't really talked about yet is like game booths, right? Is playing games will use a certain currency of space tokens. I won't say what yet, but QUID will be a key part of that, right? And that's around how these game booths reward their rewards. And so just, yeah, I'll be I have to leave it kind of vague because we're still figuring out the details, but QUID will definitely be used as the main utility token for all these functions. So especially once land gets closer, you'll start to see a lot more use cases for QUID rather than just like straight purchase currency. So just stay tuned. We'll have more details on that shortly. And next question here: how will visiting other people's planets work? Will planet landowners be able to set permissions for the land, and will people be able to explore freely? So yes, the plan is we're going to have like a public and private flag for your land. And so if you want anybody to just like come land on your land and go check out your shops and your mini games and stuff, you can allow that. Or you can set your land to private and not let anybody come hang out. So that'll let you like build your land the way you want it and not share it. If you just want to like have your little oasis in space, that's totally cool. Once we get multiplayer up and running though, you will be able to invite your friends. So even if your land is private, you can invite someone off your friends list to come hang out. And then, yeah, like you and your friends can hang out on your land and like play games and stuff. So that's the intention behind that. And then, yeah, definitely, if you make it public, people can come and explore freely. So that's one option you'll have.
Yeah, it kind of speaks to like how you might choose to build up your different land pieces, right? You might want to have some that are, like Alex said, like a little private oasis. Maybe you get one with a really great little like lagoon and some beautiful like trees and stuff. And you're like, this is so beautiful. I just want to be here and leave it amazing for myself. Great, do that. You got one that you want to build up to a little like mini mall. Do it. Set up a little bunch of arcade booths. Do it. Like it gives you lots of different flexibility of how you want to use each land.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here.
Bixby.
Oh yeah, okay. Will building interiors be procedurally generated, or will be be plain empty or include furniture and other clutter. So for the residential buildings, they will have sort of a prefab look to them in the interior. Like we are planning to do like a living room, a little kitchen, and a bedroom. But the main thing is like shelves that you can store other NFTs on. So they're more prefab. There won't be procedural generation. But for example, on like the game booths, there'll be like empty slots that you can put different games into those slots. Yeah, so it depends on the building type. And for example, like a biome, when you place it, it's empty, and then you have to install the biome that you'd like to be included within that building. So furniture is something we want to do though. And again, like if you've ever played a game like Animal Crossing, that's like they take it to the nth degree in terms of the amount of items and customization you can provide. But we will have some areas that you can place down different items. I'll be honest, like we're still gauging how detailed we want to make interiors, because it's a whole nother level of complexity, especially when you have people walking around freely. And we're trying to not have to load the interior, like loading a new level. We really would like it so just to be seamless, like you walk around on the land and you can walk into buildings. So that's a consideration when talking about like how much custom stuff or like player position stuff can live within a building. So that's just a technical consideration, but yeah, long-winded answer, but yes, there will be sort of like areas of the buildings that you can place different items. Hopefully that answers that. Another cage model. Will claiming mine minerals be a separate transaction for each land? So so this is a really good question because it ties into how sort of claims work. And how it works is like when a mining operation finishes, you're going to be notified of like what your potential yield was for that mining operation, what minerals, how much, and all of that goes into your claims list. Claims are where you'll be able to batch together all the stuff you can claim, like all your rewards, and you can batch them all together in one or as few transactions as possible. Because of this exact reason, we didn't want it to be like you'd have to claim each individual item as it comes in. So claims are a way that you could track the stuff that you've earned and then batch it all together and receive all those NFTs or tokens at once. So claims is the real magic behind that system is the allowing you to claim everything at once. So I think that's, I haven't seen that yet, especially in Cardano. Like, and I'll put this out to you, the community. Like, let us know if you've seen other games that are live right now that have systems like this. I think we're kind of on the bleeding edge. So if you have any ideas or thoughts on how it should work, let us know. But I think we've got a pretty good plan in terms of architecture of how to make a game work on Cardano, because it's a very different technology than other chains. Like even compare it to Ethereum. Ethereum works very differently. So managing like UTXOs and how the transactions actually work is a very unique problem to Cardano. So let us know if you have any examples to point to if you have a good way of doing something. Yeah. Getting pretty close to 8 o'clock here. I think we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, totally.
I think let's open it up. That covers most of the AMA questions list.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody in the audience wants to ask a question or just come in and say a few words, let us know.
Tell us how awesome we are. You know, that's welcome too.
Yeah, right.
Indeed. Our next one of these, I'll just fill a little bit of dead air space while we see if anybody wants to come up and chat. Our next one of these we'll be doing in 2 weeks. We're going to try to snag our CET time zone friends. And so for us here in PDT, that'll be kind of during our workday, which will be kind of nice. So tune in for that. We'll be creating that event in Discord probably tomorrow. So stay tuned for that one coming up in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, make sure you fill up the AMA questions. I'm sure there's lots for your brains to unpack. And as you think about all this more, I'm sure there'll be a bunch of questions that come out of this. So pop them in the AMA questions channel, and we will, like this time, next time we'll take them off the top and deal with all of these things as they come as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, if no one has any other questions, I think
we got
just want to say
Prague
what's
wants to
that?
chat.
Yeah, no more
Okay.
questions. Just want to say thank you guys for hosting. Any case that anybody's confused about how to add it, there's a hand icon. You just raise your hand. It promotes you to speaker. You can say something and then go back to the audience if you want to. But I appreciate you guys putting this on. This is great.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, thanks a lot, Proc. I appreciate all the questions.
For sure. Yeah, and hopefully we'll see you guys at the next one and future ones down the line.
Yeah.
Movie
Okay.
night
Well,
Saturday, please go.
yeah, movie
You
night.
haven't yet. Please go.
Yes, movie night, Saturday. Jeez Louise. Saturday, 7, same time as this was happening. We'll be watching Spaceballs. Jester, you're setting that one up this weekend? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So come hang out with Jester. I'll probably pop in for a bit on Saturday and yeah, have a laugh.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us.
Thanks,
it's
fam.
nice to see some of these active people here. So yeah, really appreciate it. And let us know if you have any questions, and we'll send you some updates shortly. Thanks so much.
Have a good week. Talk to you guys later.
Okay. Bye everybody. Bye.